Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. Today's video, I'm going to tell you guys what to expect in your third trimester, not sixth, third trimester, and things that you also need to do to prepare for baby and prepare for yourself as well. So if you're interested in that video, please keep watching. Before we get started, guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy mama content and you want to see more from me and lifestyle videos. My name is Sam. Please join the family. I'm expecting my baby girl pretty shortly. I am 38 weeks pregnant, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and share things that I've personally experienced, that you guys may experience as well, most likely, during your third trimester of pregnancy, and things that you need to do, things you need to get done, and things that I did that really helped me be prepared to where I am now, to where I'm 38 weeks, smooth sailing, and I'm all prepared, ready to go, and there's no surprises going on. So I have my phone here so we can do some talking points, because I tend to go on a tangent sometimes and make things longer and more rambled out than they need to be. So I'm going to try to keep myself to these talking points and let you guys know some symptoms that are relatively not that long of expecting in your third trimester, and then the list of really things that you need to get done before this point of where I am right now. So congratulations to all you moms out there. If you're in your first, second, or third trimester, if you just want to find out more. I am in my third trimester. I'm due April 1st. Today is March 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a little less than 2 weeks out. I'm 38 weeks and 1 day of pregnancy. Pregnant, I should say. And I'm really excited. I cannot wait to meet her. So thankfully, we have made it to full term. I believe 37 weeks is considered full term. I'm 38, so I'm full term. Baby is healthy and she is doing great. Now, overall, throughout my pregnancy, I've had a relatively, I'd say probably easy and very healthy pregnancy, and I'm very fortunate for that. Not everyone has the same process going in. Obviously, the first trimester was really difficult for me in terms of the nausea and all of that stuff. But after I got through the first trimester, it was pretty much smooth sailing until I had some back pain. Got that corrected with regular chiropractic care. And now we're here. I feel good. Obviously, I'm tired, short of breath, but we'll go ahead and get into those things. Now, first thing I want to touch on is the shortness of breath. Now, throughout your pregnancy, your first trimester, you're not having it, and I started to notice the most shortness of breath was early in my third trimester. Now, your third trimester does start around week 28 and continue to week 40. So I would say that's pretty accurate. I want to say 28, 29, 30 weeks is really when I noticed I began to get really short of breath. And it kind of just snuck up on me. It wasn't like it was gradual. I feel like I had no shortness of breath. I was fine, like, oh, I have no issues. And then one day I walked up the stairs and I was completely winded. And with COVID going on, you're like, oh my gosh, I have shortness of breath. And then you remember you're pregnant. It's nothing, right? And it's continued on, and obviously the bigger I've gotten, if you can see, the worse it has gotten. So now at 38 weeks, it is better. I will say when I was around 36, 37, when she was a little bit higher, it was worse, but it's still pretty bad. Just to also tie in your pregnancy congestion, guys. So let's tie that in. So now, I don't know if everyone gets this, but I've gotten pretty bad pregnancy congestion, like really bad. So on top of not being able to breathe, I'm severely congested all the time. So I do have to take allergy medicine. I don't take it every day, but I do take it, you know, maybe a couple times a week, and I use a nasal spray, which is a saline solution that's safe for me to use on a daily basis, and that is what I live by. Just to put the cherry on top, I have a deviated septum, which makes it really hard for me to breathe. So nighttime is terrible, but it's all worth it, and at the end of the day, if that's all I have to complain about, it's not that big of a deal. Next, frequent bathroom trips. Now, your first trimester, I think due to hormones, you have to use the bathroom so much, and that is what I experienced in my first trimester. Like sleeping through the night and using the bathroom was a thing I did all the time. Second trimester, I actually found that there were some nights that I could sleep through the night and not have to use the bathroom, which was amazing. Third trimester, joke's on you, because when you get around, I want to say I was around 31, 32 weeks is when the bathroom frequency trips started to pick up on me. And not one time for the night, not 2 times, I'm talking about around 4 times for the night. And of course, throughout the day, I want to stay hydrated and I'm drinking a lot more water. I drink more water before bed, but it's like, let's say I stop drinking water at a certain time, I'm still using the bathroom very, very frequently. So at this point, I will tell you right now, you know, your body's in baby mode, your body's preparing you for baby, for sleepless nights anyways. So I have not slept through the night in a couple of weeks, and it's so strange. It's one of those things where you say, okay, I'm really tired, you sleep, but the obviously frequent trips to the bathroom make you not sleep, and then the pregnancy congestion makes it worse on top of that. So it's really interesting. So let's say I go to bed around midnight every night, is kind of where I'm at right now with going to sleep because I'm just kind of awake. Go to bed at midnight, I go to the bathroom at midnight, of course, go to the bathroom again at 2, I probably go again at 4, then I go again at 6, and then I kind of will wake up and go sleep and then wake up around 8:39, and that will be my last trip. So about 4 or 5 bathroom trips throughout the entire night, every 2 hours or so, but I'm also thinking my body's preparing me for baby, so those every 2-hour bathroom trips are going to come in handy when I'm already awake for the baby anyways, right? Next, swollen hands and feet. So I know some people get this really badly. I personally have not gotten it badly, but I have had some swelling. So obviously you guys don't know what my hands look like before, but this is my hand right now. I would say today they're not so bad. Some days they are way worse than others. Thankfully my ring still fits me, because when I got my ring, my husband got me, I'm a size 7, traditional ring size, and I had my husband get me a 7.25 because I have sweaty hands and my hands would swell. So just because on a regular basis my hands would get a little bit swollen because I have sweaty hands, my ring was already a little bit on the roomy side. Not anything to ever fall off, but just a little extra room. And I think the extra wiggle room really saved me so I could wear my ring my entire pregnancy. Yes, which is awesome, which makes me so excited. But I cannot wear my wedding band with my ring anymore because it is way too tight. So if I want to wear my wedding band on its own, I think for example today where my hands are not that swollen, I could wear my wedding band by itself, but I can't wear my wedding band and my ring. It's just too much of a thick cluster. And my feet, oh my gosh, my feet are not that swollen, but boy do they hurt. Expect to gain weight during your pregnancy. I went in my first appointment, I was 157, and now I am like 202. So 157 minus 202. I've gained 45 pounds throughout my pregnancy, and my doctor found no concern in that because every single week I was gradually gaining a consistent healthy amount of weight, but all that added pressure, added weight makes your feet hurt a lot. And for me personally, that is what I'm experiencing. So my feet literally are so painful, and I find that I can't wear like super flat shoes because that almost causes more pain. I need something with like a little bit, or a slipper with a little bit of cushion or height at the bottom. I find that helps me the most. But yeah guys, swollen feet, I know women suffer with that a lot. My feet are a little bit swollen right now. They've gotten a little bit wider, so I can't wear a lot of my shoes, but I think that will definitely go down. But the feet pain just from the extra weight added onto me is insane. Next is Braxton Hicks contraction. So I know a lot of people experience them throughout their 3rd trimester. Sometimes you notice them, sometimes you don't. And they pick up more frequently just to kind of get you ready for baby. I didn't experience any of that until about last week at my 37-week appointment. I don't think they were Braxton Hicks. They didn't say they were. I think they were actually regular contractions, but I haven't had any contractions that have been consistent. So right at this moment right now, I am 1 centimeter dilated at 38 weeks, and I'm about 50% effaced according to my OB. But that can be different for everyone, because that doesn't mean everyone at 38 weeks will be dilated. You may not be dilated up until 40 weeks. It really just depends. But as of right now, I am only 1 centimeter dilated, and I've been that way for a little over a week now. So food for thought, guys. But you will start experiencing some contractions, especially later on in your pregnancy, where I am now. And those are really preparing you for the real thing. They were not super painful, but they do kind of stop you in your tracks. Felt like a very annoying period cramp. That's the best way I can describe it. Next thing is eating. So first trimester, you didn't really eat right. You probably turned into a vegetarian like I did. Second trimester, I turned into a food monster. Beginning of my third trimester, still a food monster. Now, I still eat a lot probably, but I feel like my weight, I haven't really gained that much weight the past 2 weeks. My weight has kind of slowed down. From 36 weeks to 38 weeks, I think I've only gained like 2 pounds, which is nothing, right? So my weight is starting to even out, and I notice I'm starting to eat less. I notice that I get full way faster than I did in the beginning. I'm not sure why. Like second trimester, it was almost like I had a bottomless pit and I could eat all day, every day. And there are random days, like last night I was just hungry and snacking a lot. But other than that, I find myself not being able to eat large quantity of meals. And I find that I'm getting full way faster than I was in my second trimester, which is good. I guess your body's kind of evening out and the weight gain is starting to slow down. So I'm kind of at that home stretch. Last thing I want to touch on about symptoms in third trimester is pain in your hoo-ha. Okay, let me just say this. From start to notice around 36 weeks, because of all that pressure, baby moving down, you gaining weight, all of the stuff that's preparing your body for labor, you, at least me personally, I can't speak for everyone, I am very sore down there already. It's already a little swollen. I haven't, you know, looked really to get a fine tooth of what's going on. But yeah, I am already a bit swollen down there. It's tender. When I go to my appointments now, she checks my cervix. It is very uncomfortable. It's like, on terms of pain, like a 4. Now, I know this is nothing compared to childbirth, and I'm thinking to myself, how can I deal with childbirth if I can't deal with a little bit of pressure now and swelling, right? It's absolutely insane. That's why I'm getting an epidural, because I already know I just can't deal with pain. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 4 for me personally, which is definitely manageable. But on a daily basis, you're sore. You can tell you're swollen and your body is changing. And baby is pushing her head down and changing a lot of things down there. So guys, just so you know, be warned, I told you, you will be sore. Oh, also, I want to also touch on the peeing on yourself situation. So around 32, 33 weeks, obviously is when I start to notice the frequent accidental like drips when you use the bathroom, so, or after I use the bathroom. So for me, like if I sneeze, laugh, or anything like that, I do not use the bathroom on myself, thankfully. But I do find that my bladder is a lot looser. Of course, I'm going to the bathroom way more, but in addition to going into the bathroom way more, every time I use the bathroom, I think I'm done, I pee, I sit there for a moment, and I stand up, give it 30 seconds, and more pee comes out. And I think my doctor had told me it's because, you know, all of that's going on, and it doesn't drain properly, and then you pee on yourself. So, just so you guys know, you may or may not experience using the bathroom, thinking you're done, getting up, and basically peeing on yourself some more. FYI. So that's why I also find that it's really great to wear a pad now, so you can just change. If you use the bathroom, wipe yourself really well, you find that when you get up, you trinkle on yourself a little bit, you can at least say, okay, let me just change this pad and put on a new pad, so you're not changing your underwear frequently. And then also, your third trimester, you will experience more discharge. I mean, you know, some women say they will, some women say they won't. Everyone has different body. It's completely normal, my doctor says, and I noticed in my third trimester it has picked up quite a bit. And now that I'm at the end of my third trimester, I'm not really noticing any discharge that much. I'm trying to look for it just in case I use my mucus plug. That kind of discharge aspect went away, but the peeing has not, and the frequent little drops here and there. So make sure you guys wear a pad. Now that we've touched on things you might experience in your third trimester, let's talk about things that you need to do, and I'm going to run through the list relatively quickly because we want to make this a 40-minute video, and I hope that my talking points were clear, precise, and to the point, and that's where I was trying to get with them. All right, guys, so things to do. I have a pretty hefty list, right? A pretty hefty list of things that you need to do to prepare yourself and baby so there are no surprises. First thing that I would say personally do is around 30 weeks, pack your bag. Between 30 and 35 weeks at the latest. Pack your bag. Pack your bag, pack the baby's bag, and make sure your significant other has their bag packed as well. Now my husband, he was lollygagging a little bit and just recently finished putting all of his stuff in. He did majority earlier on, but he really just finished putting all of his stuff in. But just in case something happens before you're anticipating to give birth, have your bag packed, because it's always better to be prepared so you're not scrambling to get things done right before. I think that you're just going to give yourself more stress and anxiety that you really don't need to. Next thing is to register for your hospital. Now this is something I did, I would say over a month ago, almost 2 months ago. I registered for my hospital. Now this is great because who wants to go to the hospital in pain and have to fill out all this paperwork, get all this information, and not really, you know, get into your room faster and blah, 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 blah. Register for the hospital. I think this will save you a lot of time. It'll save you a lot of stress and make your hospital experience so much better if you decide to go to a hospital. Make sure you register. What I liked about registering for the hospital is I did everything online, and a couple weeks later, I got a letter in the mail actually letting you know, based on your information, based on your insurance, this is the bill you can anticipate, which is great. So many people go into labor not knowing how much it can cost. I know it's a really expensive thing. Some people have to pay thousands of dollars, which is crazy, right? But you kind of want to be prepared for that before you go in. So we're in March right now, back in the beginning of February. So I want to say I registered actually in January for the hospital. And then February, they sent me my letter of saying, congratulations on your new baby. We're excited to have you at this hospital. Your information's in the system, blah, blah, blah. Here's what to expect when it comes to delivering. And this is great. Now you will get a hospital bill and you will get a bill from your doctor as well. And that's what my doctor did for me. So it was really nice, so I was not surprised. So the hospital said, hey, based on your deductible, based on your out-of-pocket max, and blah, 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 your co-insurance, you know, all hospital talk. This is the expected possible price of what you will pay, give or take, if something else has to go down, right? Great. I know we have a range of what to anticipate. Next, my actual doctor's office said, okay, let me give you the doctor's bill. Based on this kind of procedure, blah, 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 this is what the doctor's fee is. Boom, that's your bill there. So make sure you guys pre-register for all your stuff and talk to your doctor, your OB, so you have an idea of what to expect. So 3-4 months down the line, you're not shocked that you have a $5,000 bill, a $3,000 bill, a $10,000 bill. I don't know what your bill will be. Everyone has different insurance coverages, etc. But make sure you get that out the way. I think that's a huge stressor for people, and if you can prepare for that a couple months before, then definitely do so. Next is take a birthing class. I know with COVID, a lot of birthing classes are not open. So Julie and I did some birthing class stuff online, like 10 videos or so of preparing for baby, what to expect, what it's going to be like, etc. All those good things, just to get an idea of what it's going to be like, information you need to know about your body, things your body's going to go through, what to expect postpartum, things to look for, just so you're aware of things that may or may not happen. It's really great to just be informed. Education is really, really important. Also take CPR. We actually have to do this, and I'm lollygagging with this, so do as I say, not as I do, right? Take a CPR class if you can, or if you can't, I don't know if we're gonna have time, at least watch a video on a CPR class on what, God forbid there's an emergency with your baby, if you can possibly save your baby's life. If you're not, you know, certified right away, at least you have some kind of idea on what to do in the meantime, which I think is great. Next is start reading books more about labor and delivery. So I've been reading more labor and delivery books and breastfeeding books because I'm deciding that I'm going to nurse. And I think this is a time when people decide if they want to nurse or they also want to give formula. Now I think the biggest thing is to not be too hard on yourself with whatever decision you make. Do what's best for you, do what's best for your body, and go, in my mind, I'm going in with the intent to breastfeed. But if I have to supplement or something, you know, I'm not producing enough at first and I have to supplement, then it is what it is. As long as I'm feeding my child, that's all that matters. There's no shame. It's your life, your baby. You have to do what's best for you in a mental and healthy way, same for your child. But I am going in with the intent to hopefully nurse and do the best I can. I'm going to give it my best shot, speak with the lactation consultants, and I've been reading a lot on breastfeeding, so hopefully I'm more informed and educated on that process as well. And also talk to people around you, sisters, cousins, friends, family, sister-in-law, whoever, that may have done breastfeeding. And if they've done it successfully, ask them, okay, how did it go for you? What was it? What were the details? What did you experience in the beginning? Etc. And then talk to someone who didn't do breastfeeding and why they decided not to. Did they try? Did they not try? Did they do formula? What formula they used? And so on and so forth. Next, I would say is find a pediatrician. Now, I found a pediatrician, I would say when I was around 28 weeks for our daughter, but the sooner you find one, the better. You want to go ahead and call around to different pediatric offices, see what they offer, and make sure they're also accepting new clients. Because when you get discharged from the hospital, depending on where you're going to be delivering at, your pediatrician can actually come check out the baby. Or if your hospital's a little further than your pediatrician travels, the resident pediatrician at the hospital will check out your baby, but the hospital wants to know who your pediatrician is after you have the baby, because you do have to go a couple days after to check on the baby and make sure everything is great. So I already did that. I need to probably give them a call today actually, just to let them know, like, hey, we spoke here, I gave you my information, baby's coming soon, look out for me. And you want to look for what you want to find in a pediatrician. So whether that facility has lactation consultants, which mine does, whether or not they do on-site blood work, which mine does. So every pediatrician does things differently, and you may look for things differently to accommodate you and your family. So make sure you do a lot of research and find out what will suit you best. And I think I found the right pediatrician for us, so I'm really, really excited. Next is to create a hospital birth plan. I talked about this in my other video of what's in my hospital bag. I'll link that down below for you guys. But create a hospital birth plan. Let your nurses know, this is what I'm hoping to experience during my birth. Every birth is not perfect. You know, may not go according to plan, but if they have an idea of who your support person is, what kind of method you want to use, if you want to do different positions, if you want to breastfeed, if you don't want to breastfeed, because they're going to probably ask you all of these questions anyways. But if you can come prepared with a piece of paper that says, these are my wishes, these are my wants, this is my experience, this is my pain tolerance, this is what I want to do, medicated, unmedicated, they will really appreciate that, because you're prepared. It'll take the stress off of you and your spouse, of course, and they'll already know what to expect. Okay, this patient, all right, she's clear, concise, and she knows what she wants, and we're going to try and give her everything she wants to the best of our ability, and making sure she's healthy. And that's the biggest thing, having a healthy, happy, positive birth and child at the end of the day. That's all that really matters. I would say is to stock up on household staples. Now, Julie and I have been running to the store, getting stuff that we need. So stuff in the house that's really, you know, things that don't go bad, stuff we could put in the freezer. So we went to Costco and like stocked up on chicken and stuff that we know we can defrost and cook, and dry items, you know, canned items, beans, chips, crackers, anything of that nature that we may need postpartum, nuts, stuff like that. Because you're not gonna have time to go to the grocery store when the baby comes. So we're trying to stock up on items in the fridge and freezer and pantry now. Just staples that you really need to get by. And then if you can, prepare your meals. So we have not prepared any of our meals yet. We are fortunate enough to have my mom, and his mom is actually going to come help us for a couple weeks after we have the baby. And I'm basically going to delegate all food related things to them. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, cooking, stuff like that for them to do for us, because we're going to be busy with the baby. And of course my husband can pitch in with that as well. He can do the grocery shopping if he needs to, and they can do the cooking and the prepping, because I know I will not have time to do that. And we're lucky enough to have them help us. And that touched on my next point of figuring out what to do postpartum, whether or not you're going to have help or not. Everyone decides they want something different. We decided that it would be great to have help. We've never done this before, and just to give us some experience and ease us into it for the first couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks or so. Because it's going to be a difficult process and a very different process, and why not have your parents who have done this before? Of course, everyone is going to do things differently, so do what's best for you. But if you can have your family here or someone that you know that can support you and help you and do things you can't do, like cook, do laundry, and keep the house clean, I think that'll be a really big stress reliever. So if you can, ask if you have anyone that can help you during that time. Next, I would say we recently finished, or when I was around 37 weeks, is doing the baby's nursery. So if you guys are going to have a nursery, I would say now is the time to make sure it's completely done, because you don't want any surprises. And if you're not, no big deal. Our daughter's actually going to be in our room with us for the first couple of months, but we still wanted to use her nursery, and I'll link my nursery tour down below if you guys want to check it out. It turned out so beautiful. We figured at nighttime we want her in the room with us, and then in the daytime when she takes her naps we want her to use her actual nursery, because we don't want her to get used to the bassinet that moves too much. We want her to get used to the regular bed, and then at nighttime having that soothing motion. I figured that would be best suited for us personally. To each his own, but at nighttime I want her really close, or if in my room I want her close to me. But if she's taking a nap throughout the day and I'm doing something, we have her camera set up for her room, and she's going to be in her nursery. And so we were able to get that done, and I really love it. Speaking of nursery, if you're getting your nursery done, make sure everything is organized and where you want it to be, and also make sure all the baby's clothes is washed, because of course you're going to have to pack a bag with stuff for the baby to go to the hospital, and when you come home you definitely don't want to have to be washing clothes. That's no fun. So my mother-in-law and my mom and my husband and I took a couple weeks of just cutting all the tags, finding out what we wanted to bring, organizing sizes, organizing her drawers, doing everything we needed to do to say, okay, I want her drawers organized this way, all of her clothes washed, these sizes can go in the closet, these sizes can go in the drawer. And I think when we come home now, it's going to be a very easy, seamless process that we do not have to worry about. So if you can, organize the baby's room and get everything done before their arrival. That's it, guys. So I'm saying that's really it, as if this video was 5 minutes, right? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative to let you guys know what to expect in your third trimester and things you really need to get done, and little things hopefully you thought about that you haven't thought about, or plans for yourself to set yourself up for success and the most positive birth experience. And that's hopefully my plan, is just a calm, positive, happy, healthy birth is the biggest, most important thing to me, and also having the house ready and good to go for when baby comes. That's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.